Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of day this video finds you. It's your boy Jay here. And as Sunbreak support is winding down, we do have the bonus update on the horizon, which will bring a variant Malzeno. I'm super hyped for that. I hope it's super dummy crazy hard. But support for Sunbreak is going to be winding down here as to be expected. We've got all the title updates. And you know, of course, event quests will be supported and showing up week after week. But after that, support for Sunbreak will be dying down. So that being said, I feel like it is a great time to start talking about the future of Monster Hunter, right? It's a great time to start reflecting on what Rise and Sunbreak bring to the franchise and to maybe think about what features from these games can be coming to the future. So with that being said, I want to talk about Wirebugs today. All right, I think I wouldn't mind. Let me say it this way: I wouldn't mind if Wirebugs remained a mainstay in Monster Hunter. However, that doesn't mean Wirebugs in its entirety. Like, Wirebugs can stay, but Wyvern Riding and Wirefall have got to go. I don't think they should stay, but Wirebugs themselves can stay. So that's what today's video is going to be about. I'm going to be talking in great detail how I think we can keep Wirebugs, get rid of Wirefall, and get rid of Wyvern Ride and still have it make sense. We're going to go into these three topics in great detail, so definitely stick around. This will be more of a listen type video, so yeah, the clips that will show up will, you know, pertain to the material I'm talking about, but you can just put this on your headphones and, I don't know, take care of a chore like washing dishes or something and listen to me talk. So yeah, that being said, let's get into it. Okay, first things first, I want to talk about what I think should stay. The Wirebugs themselves, right? The ability to sling yourself through the air and kind of have this great mobility is amazing, right? And because we had that mobility in Rise and Sunbreak, we got the map designs that we got. I really like Sunbreak and Rise's maps, and just the way they're structured, where you can go anywhere, do anything. All the walls can be, you can run up all the walls and you can go anywhere. You can cross these big distances, and there's always like a whole lot of good verticality, so to speak, when it comes to these map designs, because you can wirebug your way around, and there's all sorts of like nooks and crannies, and the maps are filled with stuff to help you excel on a hunt, right? Aside from spirit birds, right? Like, spirit birds is a whole different topic. I wouldn't care if they stayed or if they went. I'm more on the side of if they went, but things like the new endemic life that we got, right? The paratoads, things like the marionette spider, things like trap bugs, gust crabs, those are peppered across the maps in various areas that you kind of have to use your wirebugs to get to, you know what I mean? So yes, I think Wirebugs should stay because they enable great map design, right? Next, I don't want to be able to use Wirebugs while unsheathed. Does that make sense? So you can only, you know, do the wirebugging, you know, the zipping through the air while your weapon is sheathed. So similar to what it is now. But we won't have silk binds anymore. They won't be tied to the wirebug, right? So if your weapon is out, you're hunting, there won't be any more silk binds, right? We won't be using wirebugs for the silk binds. Instead, I propose that we actually go back to hunter arts if they have to bring them back, so to speak, right? If they feel the need to bring them back, I think we should go back to hunter arts and go back to the meter so that they happen less often, and it slows the game back down to something we're more used to, right? Rise and Sunbreak is the fastest game in the series, and some say it's too damn fast. This can help slow the game down, right? So if you have to give us crazy cool moves, you can tie them to hunter arts again, have a different meter for that, and keep the wirebugs just for mobility when your weapon is sheathed, right? So let's say the monster, you know, zips around and moves around, you can sheath your weapon, wirebug over there to a better position, continue the combat, right? And yes, all weapons would get a jump attack, will still have a jump attack. You can wirebug and then unsheath midair to do the jump attack, right? So that stays. I'm not saying, you know, we're getting rid of the jump attack and the mounting and all that, but like I said, we're going to talk about mounting later because that's Wyvern Riding, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think Wirebugs should stay. You should only be able to use them while sheathed, right? And we should take away the silk binds being linked to your Wirebugs. Does that make sense? So they'll regen like usual, but you can only use them for mobility and only if you sheath your weapon, right? That way we can still have monsters that are decently fast, but we'll be able to keep up with them and stick with them and you know, continue to be aggressive, or maybe we can get out of the way quicker. Maybe we can have attacks that are kind of big that you have to sheath your weapon and Wirebug out the way of, right? And then that being said, it brings the Insect Glaive back into the fold, right? Insect Glaive becomes more of a unique weapon because now it's the only weapon that can jump, right? And we'll let the Insect Glaive keep the Wirebug dash in the air. So it'll be the only weapon that can use Wirebugs unsheathed because it's in the air. It's special. It's aerial mobility. That's its thing. Tell me what you think in the comments down below about that as we move on to the next topic. Alright, so next up on the chopping block, Wirefall. I want it gone. I want it gone. I want it gone. I remember when you used to get knocked down by a monster and you had to like think about, okay, when do I get up? How can I escape the next attack and then get to somewhere safe so I can heal? That is no longer the case in Sunbreak and Rise, right? You just Wirefall away from the monster, immediately start drinking your potion because you can move during the potion. So I propose that we bring that back. You get hit, you're on the ground, you have to time when you get up, right? And then after you get up, you may have to sheath your weapon. You may still be unsheathed. You have to sheath your weapon. So all this time you're dodging monster attacks so not to get hit again. And then you can Wirefall. Then you can Wirebug away. Because remember, I think Wirebugs should stay, but you can only use them when your weapon is sheathed. Then you can sheath your weapon, Wirebug away to somewhere safe, then drink a potion, then Wirebug your way back into combat, right? Rather than have all of it be able to just be done from the ground, where you could just hop up, heal, or hop up, get right back into combat, and because you have, you know, blood right on, you'll just heal it all back. So there's no consequence for getting hit, right? It's easier to gem in stun resistance, so getting hit multiple times doesn't mean anything anymore. You just get knocked, get right back up, hit the damaged body part, and heal up. Like, we need some kind of consequence for getting hit, you know what I'm saying? So I propose we go back to how it used to be. You're invincible when laying down on the floor, and you gotta think about when to get up. You gotta think about, okay, is it safe to get up now? Then you can get out of the way, heal, and come back, right? And because there will be no more Wirefalls, I think a lot of the monsters movesets will also get toned down quite a bit. I think a lot of the monster movesets in this game are way out of there, you know what I'm saying? Like a monster will do a claw swipe and it will be followed by explosions, which is designed to catch people who are wirefalling recklessly, right? Or there are a lot of monsters that have just combos. They're always swinging because, you know, Capcom, they're smart people. They're like, yeah, we gave them this ability to wirefall, so we gotta have something that will catch the wirefallers, right? Because you're not invincible while you wirefall, thank goodness. But yeah, so I think this will tone back a lot of the monster movesets, maybe even slow them down a little bit. I did already kind of discuss in the beginning of the video that, you know, Sunbreak is the fastest game in the series. Some say too fast. I think this is another way of slowing the game down, right? You're invincible while you're laying down on the floor. You have to think about when to get up, because if the monster is still attacking, sometimes it's safer to just lay your ass down on the floor, let the attack happen above you, then get up and, you know, get out there and heal and do what you got to do, rather than having monsters that are moving so much, always going so crazy. Because you have the ability to wirefall, they're designed to catch you while you're wirefalling, right? So this does mean less AoE explosions and less aggressiveness from the monsters in general. Not too much. I like me an aggressive monster, don't get me wrong, but I think this will slow the game down just a little bit to help get it back to feeling like Monster Hunter, to help get it back feeling like, oh, okay, yeah, this is slower, it's more methodical, I gotta think more, right? Rather than brain turned off, I could just wirefall away, heal up, you know what I mean? So I think wirefalling should go because it will make you think more. When do I get up? When can I heal? I gotta dodge the monster's attacks as I'm getting up. Maybe sheath my weapon at a good time. Maybe I'm not at full health, I gotta block something, then I can sheath and get to safety and drink a potion and heal. You know what I'm saying? So I think not having wirefalling anymore will be great. Yes, it will slow the game down just a little bit. I'm acknowledging that, because now you gotta sheath your weapon, Wirebug away from the monster, you know, manually, the slow way. Then you can drink your potion and then get back into the battle. Consequences for getting hit. In other words, get good. all right. It's time for the big one. Wyvern Ride. It was fun while it lasted. Okay, I don't hate Wyvern Ride. I just think its time is up. It's done. It can just stay here in Sunbreak. If I want to ride a Wyvern like this, I'll come back, play this game, get my fix, and leave. But I don't want Wyvern Ride to show up in future installments of Monster Hunter. Boom, I said it, right? Now, there are a lot of issues I have with Wyvern Ride, and they've been building, right? Don't get me wrong, it's fun to ride a Rajang and shoot lasers all day. It's fun. I am the Rajang now. Feel my laser. It's great. I understand, right? However, a lot of consequences come as a result of Wyvern Ride, and as I've been playing this game for the past, oh my god, almost 2 years now, right? More than 2 years. As I've been playing this game, I've come to realize that, like, you know, Wyvern Ride is really affecting this game in ways that I'm not really sure I like, right? So let's get into it, man. Monster AI due to Wyvern Ride is whack, okay? The 4 of you are hunting a monster, right? You and a full party, you're hunting a monster. Another monster shows up in the area. That monster that you were fighting is going to ignore you to go fight the other monster. Straight up ignore you, right? You guys are trying to kill it dead. You're swinging sharp sticks and shooting at this monster. It's going to ignore you for the sake of the new monster that just walked in the room. Regardless of whether it's an actual threat or a turf war, right? It's going to ignore you just so they can fight each other, and then one of them at the end will be, you know, rideable, right? You'll jump on a Wyvern Ride, do some damage, and then, you know, that'll be the end of that, right? And after that ride, the one of the monsters leaves the area. So having more than one monster in an area is no longer a threatening thing. I don't even remember the last time I used a dung bomb in a Monster Hunter game. I carry them with me because, you know, ever since Try, it's been ingrained in my head. Bro, bring dung bombs, right? Hell, my favorite monster of all time, Devil Joe, Invader, bring dung bombs just in case another monster wants to show up to the party and, you know, give you a bad time. I get it. I haven't had to use a dung bomb in Sunbreak and Rise in forever because having multiple monsters in the same area is no longer a threat. All it is an opportunity to do more damage now, because after the Wyvern Ride, the monster pieces out. It's gone, right? So having more than one monster in an area, no longer scary. And monsters are willing to ignore you, the player, in order to initiate a Wyvern Ride so that you can do that. Up next, I think the rides are too easy to chain together, right? You do a Wyvern Ride, you're beating up a monster, the meter gets full. If you aim the monster correctly and just push the Y button, boom, the monster you were fighting now is rideable. You just jump off, jump on that monster, boom, done. And then you do it again. You beat up, you know, the other monster or whatever, and, you know, maybe you bonk them into the wall 3 times to guarantee the down. It's just too easy, and it's a huge disruption to the hunt. You know what I mean? So let's compare Wyvern Riding to the old school mount, right? In GU, guy gets a mount, he's on it. There's a call out. I got the mount. So you have a couple choices now, right? You can continue attacking the monster, and the monster is going to be thrashing about trying to get the hunter off its back as it's doing the stab thing, right? So you can still get hurt. It's still very engaging. You're like, oh, okay, let me not get hit by these attacks. But also, by attacking the monster while your homeboy is on the back of it, I think you help him get the Wyvern Ride, right? Because there's a meter that builds up as you stab. So as you attack this monster that's being mounted, you are helping, right? It's still active. You're helping them achieve the down. You're helping them win the mount, so to speak, right? And then the monster falls over in the same area you're in, and everybody goes and, you know, does their thing on the monster while it's down. You know, a bunch of free damage. That's great. That's what it's for. Let's look at Wyvern Ride. You get on the Wyvern Ride, right? If somebody gets on a Wyvern Ride, you just sheath your weapon or you just start sharpening, because there's a huge damage penalty to attacking a monster that's being Wyvern ridden. I think I'm saying that in the right tense. There's a huge damage penalty to attacking a monster that's been Wyvern Riding, so it's not really worth, continuing to attack the monster. So all you gotta do is you gotta sit there and you gotta wait, right? You wait until that guy is done with the Wyvern Ride. Like, that's it, right? You wait for them to do the bonk against the wall, and then when the monster falls, it's time for everybody to attack. And even then, it's still like super unpredictable where the monster is gonna end up after you do the bonking, right? So as like compared to the old school mount, the monster is standing still, right? And in GU, you can actually see the bar fill up. So you're like, oh, okay, it's about to fall right here. I can line myself up to take advantage of this opportunity that my teammate gave me. Whereas Wyvern Riding, the monster is bouncing all over walls, all over the place. You're like, okay, I think it's going to fall this way. You got to kind of guess. And then, of course, every now and then, and this is like a Nintendo Switch type problem, but there's not voice chat on Nintendo Switch, right? So you got to communicate using stickers and, pre-baked shortcuts. But sometimes a guy gets a Wyvern Ride and he just pieces out with the monster to the other side of the map. Now he runs off, does his thing. Maybe he runs to some starburst bugs that are on the wall, does the bonks, the monster falls over, but none of the rest of the team are there to help you take advantage of the down that you created for the team. So now the monster gets back up before everybody gets to the monster and can take advantage of the big down that you've created for the hunters in the room. Now I know that's a skill issue, right? That's a player by player basis, but that's still a thing. Like, dude gets on the monster, decides to ride to the other side of the map. There's nothing you can do about that. You're like, well, okay, this is a huge interruption to the hunt, right? Regardless of if they choose to do the triple bonk, by running it into walls immediately, you still have to wait. You sheathe your weapon. You sharpen. I don't know. Maybe you drink a potion or something. Rather than continuing to engage with the hunt, you just gotta kind of wait until stuff is over. Whereas in previous installments with the old mounting system, it was more of a choice. Like, you could choose to continue attacking. At least post 4U, right? 4U was when mounting was new, and they learned from that. But post 4U, you can choose to continue attacking the monster even while the mount was happening, and you would aid the player in getting it down. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. The Wyvern Ride, it's a huge interruption to the hunt. It's too easy to chain them together. And the AI is just so changed by the Wyvern Riding, right? Because they want players to take advantage of the Wyvern Ride. I don't doubt that it was a hard thing to program. They want people to take advantage of it, so the monsters are now told to fight each other to initiate a Wyvern Ride more often, and then after that they just peace out. So you don't have to use dung bombs anymore. Multi-monster quests are not as threatening anymore unless they're in like the arena or something, and even then you use a Wyvern Ride twice, it's a huge down, it's a huge chunk of damage. The hunt is shorter because of Wyvern Rides, right? When you go back to the old mount system, you get a big down for your teammates to take advantage of, and boom, that's it. The hunt continues. It's not as disruptive as Wyvern Riding. So yeah, don't get me wrong, Wyvern Riding can be cool sometimes, right? All Mother Narwa, Amatsu, really cool, fun, but I don't want to see it in future games, man. I don't want to see it in future games because it just disrupts the monster AI like too much, in my opinion, and it's a huge disruption to the hunt. And it really kind of takes me out of the experience when now I gotta wait for homeboy to finish his Wyvern Ride before I can start attacking again. So yeah, that's my thing on Wyvern Rides. I think we should go back to the old mounts, and yeah, that's just how I feel about Wyvern Riding. It should go. So yeah, that's a little bit about how I feel we can bring Wirebugs into the future of Monster Hunter. Now, if Wirebugs don't make it to the future title, I won't be mad. Like, I'm not like, I won't be destroyed that, oh my god, my Wirebugs are not here. Like, Capcom is always experimenting. They're always doing new things, and chances are they're gonna come up with something that I didn't even know I wanted, and I'm gonna love the next game regardless. So I love the Monster Hunter franchise. Obviously, right? If you're here, you do too. So yeah, I just wanted to put this out there and really start talking about the future of the franchise and how we feel about the game that we just got, right? Like I said, we've been playing this game in one form or another for the past 2+ years. So yeah, it's about that time to reflect on what we've played, talk about the good features, talk about the bad, and really put our opinions out there so that Capcom gets the feedback, and so that, you know, when they go to make the next game, maybe they hear us out, right? For example, Rampages and Apex Monsters kind of got scrapped when going from Base Rise to Sunbreak. Why? Because the community as a whole kind of voiced their displeasure about it. You know what I mean? So yeah. Comment down below if you agree with me. If you disagree with me, still comment down below. I plan on replying to each and every comment that hits this video. Let's talk about the game, man. I'm very passionate about Monster Hunter, obviously. So yeah, I would love nothing more than to talk about my fellow hunters about this topic and how they feel about it, and if I'm on the money, or maybe I'm tripping and you guys don't want Wirebugs coming back. Or maybe you guys want Wyvern Riding to stay forever. Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, people, happy hunting. Peace.